Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancho, and I don't know why I was doing a voice there, but I'm in a good mood. It's Monday, 5 p.m., August 26th, and it's time for another draft. Let us begin. All right, here we are, and we're on Underdog. We're not going to hop into a marathon. I don't know why I have that open. We are not doing a marathon today. We are hopping into a mini schnauzer numero ocho, and it's a $3 entry, 10K to first. The advance rate is 2 out of 12, 2 out of 10, and then 2 out of 8. I like that in week 16, followed by a 310 seat final. If you get to the final, you get $60. You can do a max of 20 entries, so you would get that $60 back. If you do make the playoffs, you get the buy-in back, so pretty solid returns. Let's hop in. I'm on like a 5-6-ish second delay, so if you want to join me, hit that button right now, and I will be joining in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 7 spots. 7 spots left. Mr. Unknown finally has caught a live draft. Good evening to you, sir, as well. And let's go indeed. We have one more spot. It is full. We will begin any moment now. We'll find out what pick we have, and it's number 6. Let's go. Number 6. I haven't taken Amon-Ra St. Brown on the live stream in a while, and he's a good pick. I'd be happy to take him. So that's who we're most likely lined up with, but we might get somebody else. We might have to pivot to Breece Hall. We might pivot to Justin Jefferson, but who knows? Maybe somebody else falls to us. We will find out. We'll see. But Caliber is asking Lamb or Tyreek. I am on the CeeDee Lamb train. He signed his contract today, 34 mil per year. You know he's good to go. I have no concerns with Lamb at all. If anything, there's a slight concern with Tyreek Hill given his age and the fact that he did get hurt at the end of the year last season. That's a very minor red flag. Tyreek is still elite. I'm not telling you Tyreek is not a great pick, but I would put my money in the CeeDee Lamb camp. A player that's a little bit younger, stepping into his prime, if not already in his prime, and was phenomenal last season. He was the wide receiver 1 overall in his last 11 games. After the bye, he was electric. So I would go CeeDee Lamb. I am on the CeeDee Lamb side of that. But McCaffrey goes pick 1. Tyreek goes pick 2. So team 3 gets an excellent value here, assuming they go Lamb. They do. Johnny Bala, probably Bala, but they go Lamb at 3. Good for them. I do not get St. Brown. So, wow, interesting to see that Breece Hall has jumped Justin Jefferson in the ADP. And I was already thinking about doing that. Let's just do it. Let's just take him. I feel really good about Breece Hall this year. And yeah, I feel good about Jefferson too. But I've taken Jefferson on the live stream more recently a couple of times than Breece Hall. And wow, Bijan and Garrett Wilson go above Justin Jefferson. That's a little shocking. He goes at pick 9 to E-Money. Good value there on Jay Jettas. A.J. Brown pick 10. That makes sense. But we got Breece Hall. We can piece it together. We'll be all right. We'll be good. But how's everyone's Monday going? It's a new week, and oh, we're so close. 3 more days until the Subscriber League live auction draft. That's Thursday evening, 8:15 p.m. I will not do a other draft on Thursday. I'm going to leave that to the auction on Thursday night. But that'll be a long stream. Wow. Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs is on the board? We don't do this often, but how often do you get a Breece Hall Jahmyr Gibbs start at pick 6? Let's take him. Let's make it happen. Is there news I should know about that I'm just like ignorant to? I don't think so. Unless it like just happened. I have to look it up. Is there Jahmyr Gibbs news? Most recently, 8 hours ago, he returned to practice. So no, there's nothing to worry about with Jahmyr Gibbs. Just an excellent value. We start off running back with Brees Hall at Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs at 19. Holy shit, I love it. Very happy. Um, we do have to figure out receiver. That is the only caveat here, but I'll take it. Let's go. A-Chain, pick 20, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans. And if I get Ayuk, I'll be ecstatic, but I doubt it. I wouldn't bet on it. Me and Team 7 both go running back. Team 7 gets Bijan and Saquon. Not bad, but yes, this is a wild beginning to the draft. Let's hope it works out for me. Will I get sniped on a Mr. Ayuk? Take Laporta. He goes Derrick Henry. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Whoops. Let's just draft him this way. Let's take Ayuk for sure. Falls 4 picks. Big discounted price. Wow. Team 7 goes all in at running back. Takes Isaiah Pacheco. Pick 31. Wow. I would have gone DJ Moore. Now Travis Etienne at 32. So this draft is really coveting running backs. Not only are there 3 teams with 2 running backs out the first 3 rounds, but one of them has 3. So the teams without running back right now are kind of screwed. Whoever gets Jacobs needs that pick. So I would even consider Jacobs here, given the state of this lobby and running back. But holy shit. Ecstatic to have Brees Hall and Jahmyr Gibbs, knowing that there's currently 5 teams without a running back still. And we're about to hit the tier break past Josh Jacobs. So that's pretty dope. Bobby Digital with a new slogan of pants down TJ Maxx. Do you take your pants off at TJ Maxx? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Sounds like it. But after Pacheco, ETN, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs, Sam Laporta, Tank Dell, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Josh Allen, and now Jacobs to the team with ETN. I think they know what they're doing. But yeah, wow. The 4 teams in the middle have all the running backs with the exception of Taylor and CMC at the bookends. But that team with Kyron's probably happy about it. As much as I want to go with Kelsey or Hurts here, I think it would help me out to pass on that. I'm going to go with Rashee Rice. And the beauty of taking Rashee in this tournament is that I don't have to worry about, like in Best Ball Mania, this is not the best pick because there were a lot of teams that drafted earlier in the summer that got Rashee Rice at like a 7th round ADP. But this tournament dropped today. There is nobody drafting with that discount on Rashee Rice. So this is the price you have to pay. And it's universal. You're not competing with someone who got Rashee Rice in the 7th. So we take him here. Obviously, the team before us has Mahomes, so we're not going to get that stack, but I don't really care. Rashee has some massive upside, and knowing that I'm taking him at the same price as everyone else, I'm a lot more comfortable with him here in this tournament. So let's take him, and we have to hit receiver before it's too late. That's the one thing about Team 5, Team 7 that I'm a little concerned about with their teams. Like Team 5 going Kelsey, a little risky, that's for sure. Team 7 going all in on the risk with 3 running backs and then Mahomes to start it off. We'll see how that works out for them. We will monitor Team 7 over the course of the draft. But knowing that, it's going to be kind of critical that before this long turn, before they go right after me, I probably would help myself out a lot by grabbing receiver because they're probably going to take two coming back around. So not only do they have to take them, other teams do. Even if I have a good value on Kincaid here, I'd probably benefit from grabbing receiver. We'll consider who's on the board, though. I'm not going to force it if it's not the right pick. And I don't think it is, honestly. I could go Worthy, but with Rasheed, I don't really want to take him. So I'm just going to take Kincaid. I think that's the best value on the board here. I could obviously go Richardson, but I can always get really good quarterback values later, and I'm sure I'll take Richardson in another draft. But we'll go Ayuk, Kincaid after starting off with the double running back combo of Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. Phenomenal start, I think. Really, really solid. But Bobby Digital just got home from TJ Maxx, and I take my pants down in the fitting room. I feel like that's not the only place you take them off. That would be my assumption. That's how it feels. DK Metcalf before Jahmyr Gibbs is an interesting pick for sure. Yeah, Team 8, big dinner. Taking their shot. Going with their gut. They take Kenneth Walker at 56, so kind of set up for maybe a Seattle combo. But wow, massive run on non-receivers. We see Walker, James Cook, Rashad White, Joe Mixon, A. Richardson, Dave Montgomery at 61, Kamara 62, Kyle Pitts, Keenan Allen, Kyler Murray. Holy shit. So, good spot here for receiver. And, it's tempting to take the floor play in Godwin, but I'm going to shoot for the moon. I'm going to go Rome Odunze. Give me Rome. The player I was most tempted to add to my ride or die video, in all honesty. Like, if there was one player I was going to add to that video, it would be Rome Odunze. Him and Brian Thomas, I really like this year. The two rookies in terms of value, upside, and talent that I can't really stop drafting. And McConkey's a third favorite there. But, yeah, give me Rome. And that opens us up for a Caleb Williams combo later on. I'll be happy with that. But got to keep in mind the team at 9 has DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. So they're potentially set up for a Caleb Williams pick as well. That's probably where they're going to go. So if I want Caleb, I got to take him at 102. Not going to get him at 115. That is very unlikely to happen. But team 2 going all out receiver, 6 straight out the gate. They got Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and they are behind the 8 ball at running back. I fear a little bit for team 2, given the state of the running back position. They go CJ Stroud, 74. Interesting. Que interesante. But Bobby Digital nabbed Marvin Harrison, 21st overall in a BBM today. Wow, that's pretty nice. This is the time where the casuals are out drafting. Maybe it's the best time to do these. Some would say yes, others would say no. It's BBM's a very interesting tournament, but we're on the clock here, and could go Hollywood, could go Keon, but I got Ladd ranked the highest. I'm going to take Ladd McConkey. Get my boy, and we need to keep hitting receiver. Herbert's healthy, so I'm going to take McConkey and trust that Herbert will play a full season. I think that'll happen. But wow, Sutton at 79. That's an interesting pick. With Keon Coleman still on the board. Wow, Josh Palmer pick 80. What is going on? This is a little shocking, honestly. But Caliber, I love DJ Moore this year, but if Keenan can't stay healthy this year, Rome might be a great value. I even think if Keenan does stay healthy, Rome's a great value. Like, I'm still convinced that the Bears traded a 4th round pick for Keenan Allen, not so that he's like a massive part of their offense, but with the plan in place that they knew they were going to draft Rome Odunze, or at least that's who they wanted, and Keenan is the mentor for Rome in his rookie season. I really think that Keenan will be overtaken, even if he stays healthy all year long, by Rome. At worst, by Thanksgiving. I think it'll probably happen before Halloween, though. I really believe in Rome Odunze and his talent. But Keenan has missed like 11 or 12 games the last 2 seasons. Keenan's probably going to get hurt at age 32. That's a pretty safe bet to make. So I would 100% endorse Rome over Keenan straight up. I have been saying that for quite a while on the channel. So happy to take him 67. But Caliber getting in on the action. Pants down for BBM. After McConkey, Cortland Sutton, Josh Palmer, as I mentioned, kind of strange picks. Ramondre, Hollywood, Jamison Williams, Keon Coleman, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris, Jordan Addison, David Njoku, Romeo Dobbs. I'm now on the clock, and I'm just going to take Jake Ferguson here. Oh, wait, no, I have Kincaid. Maybe I don't. No, I'm going to pass on Ferguson. Very tempting, but I'm going to go Raheem Mostert and get some elite upside at running back 3. With Brees and Gibbs, it's not a super critical pick, but there's 2 teams that don't have a running back. There's a team with McCaffrey that only has 1, and running back is about to hit that cliff. I don't expect it to be the same coming back around. So very tempting to take Ferguson here. If I knew I could get Ferguson at 91, I probably wouldn't have taken Kincaid 54, but I do think Kincaid was still the best pick there. And I think it helps me a little bit more to force the issue at running back in this lobby rather than grab my second tight end. There's a unique approach with upside to grab Ferguson. The team with Kelsey does take Ferguson 92. I really like him past ADP at pick 92. Anywhere in the 8th round, I think, is a great pick on Ferguson. He should be going in the 7th, but after David Njoku as well, Ferguson's a good pick. I'm just going to go with running back and, kind of bury some other teams at RB. Wow, team 2 is just really committing to 0 running back. That's interesting, but Albie says Rome will end up being the best wide receiver in that room. Probably. I would bet on it next year. I still think DJ Moore is the guy this season, but I think we could hit like week 15, 16, 17, and Rome and DJ Moore are on equal footing. That wouldn't shock me at all. Wouldn't be surprised if Rome is on the same level as DJ Moore before the year is over. But VVS Z, what up, Adam? Do you still like Rice after the Juju signing? In all honesty, I did not see the Juju signing. But yeah, I still like Rashee. Might need quarterback. I'm gonna go Caleb and get that Rome Odunze stack. I'm just gonna do it. We know that the other team has a Caleb stack prepped, so don't want to get buried at quarterback. That's what could fuck me over. So let's go Caleb Williams at 102, and I think this is a fine investment. I have him in the same tier as Jordan Love. I technically have Dak ranked higher, but I don't have a stack set up for the Cowboys. I do not have that. So if I took Ferguson at 91, I'd probably go Dak instead, but I'll just take Caleb with Rome. I think that's a fine combo, and I still have options. I can go Purdy if he comes back around. I can also go Justin Herbert a little bit later, and I can always just piece it together with like 3 total running backs when the draft is all said and done. But yeah, team 2 is really committing to a 0 running back, and Jerome Ford's off the board. Devin Singletary's off the board. Jonathan Brooks falls to 106. That's kind of interesting. But Caliber says team 2 about to draft Le'Veon Bell or something. Let's just take a look at his like full roster. Like, does it look okay on paper? He's got Stroud, Burrow. Now keep it on the board. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and Brock Bowers. No running back, and the best guy available is Tyjae Spears or Rico Dowdle. We could really screw him over and grab another running back if we wanted to. I don't know if that's critical, because got to focus on what my team needs more than messing up somebody else's draft. But with Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Mostert, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to take running back. I think I need receiver. I do need it. That's for sure. But tempting to go Goddard for the sake of locking up tight end, but I think I'm going to go Lockett. I think he's my highest ranked guy. From a tier perspective, I'll take Lockett. Let's hope he stays healthy. He could be better than JSN potentially, and I just need receiver. I need a fifth receiver on this team before it dries up. So let's take Lockett. But Blur is saying, just finished my 12-man PPR, one flex. Love Walker and Connor with St. Brown, London, and Rashee at wide receiver, and Jonathan Brooks on IR. Thoughts? I like the Jonathan Brooks on IR, especially if you have IR. Brooks is a great pick. It's a full PPR, so grabbing St. Brown is really good. Let's hope London takes a step. A little concerned about some of the pass catching prowess at running back, but I still think there's a lot of upside, really high floors with those two, so not bad. I'm interested to know what the full bench looks like and your tight end, but from what you showed me here, I think that's pretty decent, especially in 12-team league. Like, things can get dicey sometimes. I like it. That Jonathan Brooks on IR, that's the spot to be taking him. That's when you want Jonathan Brooks, where you can stash him on the IR and he's not plugging up your bench. And that way you can pick up someone off of waivers right away, right now. So good move there. But Caliber saying Brock Bowers with no running back is criminal, and he passes on running back again. He goes with Rashid Shaheed while Dowdle's still on the board. Passes on it again. Team 2. Whew. Holy shit. Oh no, Dowdle's not on the board. I'm mistaken. Dowdle went 113. I thought Dowdle was available. But yeah, Rico already off, 2 quarterbacks as well. He's really committed to it. Matthew Stafford, 124. That's interesting. But given who I have at running back, I could really take a shot with one of these guys, but I think I'm going to pass. I think I'm just going to take Brandon Cooks because I need receiver. I really do. I feel good about who I have, but I don't feel like I feel like I need depth that is going to contribute before it dries up. So I go Brandon Cooks here, past ADP, pick 126. I know he's been falling with the Tolbert news recently, but I still think Cooks is a safe pick. I still think there's value in best ball specifically. I'm less interested in Brandon Cooks in redraft. He's very touchdown dependent, more of a spike week type of guy. Not a lot of volume headed for Cooks. But last season, if you had him after the bye, there were plenty of spike weeks. There were a lot of games where he put up over 15 points. So that is my take here. I take Brandon Cooks. In the same tier as Lockett, Mooney, and Judy. Almost all the receivers here I have in the same tier. But I do have Cooks ranked the highest. So I'll just take him at a falling value while I can. So this is the team. I got Caleb Williams stacked up with Rome. Running back, we went Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs out the gate. We also have Mostert. Let's hope he stays healthy. Wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, Rashee Rice, Rome Odunze, Ladd McConkey, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks. Tight end is Dalton Kincaid. So I like this team. I like it. Starting off with that unique Brees-Gibbs combo. Feels pretty good. But I think I'm going to go Trey Benson here if I do not get sniped. Benson continues to fall. And in these tournaments where you do need to capitalize on some upside at the end in December, weeks 15, 16, 17, Benson has some high value. So not counting on him at all, really, with Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Mostert. If he does become the starter in Arizona, which I think will happen at some point in time, James Conner is not a safe bet to stay healthy. I almost took Benson at 126. So with Algier going 127, Chandler 138, I'll take Benson here at 139 and feel decent about it. But okay, some comments rolling in. Bobby Digital asking, should I do 4, 5, or 6 point per passing touchdown? Also should set a limit on quarterbacks per roster. Either go with 5 points per passing touchdown. I wouldn't do 6, or do 4 and a bonus at 300, 400 yards. That's what I like. That's what I have in the subscriber league. I got 4 points per passing touchdown, and then 2.5 bonus points when they hit 300 yards and 400 yards. But you also lose lose half a point for a sack. Team 2 committing to J.K. Dobbins as their RB1. Love to see it. Blur, though, asking Laporta at tight end and Cortland Sutton, Rico Dowdle, Brian Thomas on the bench. Ooh, Brian Thomas on the bench. I think Brian Thomas is going to be overtaking Cortland Sutton very quickly. That is my personal take. That's how I feel about it. But not bad. Not bad at all. Albie saying, I hope the Pats don't name Drake May starter week 1. Let him sit and come off the bench week 7 after Pats go 1-5. I think they start 0-8, my friend. I don't think they have a chance, no matter who it is. But that's assuming it's Brissett. I think there's more upside. I think by the time you hit week 4, week 5, I think there's going to be too many calls for May to get the start. I think May will be the starter by week 6 at the latest. But Caliber saying Team 2 playing worst ball mania. Yeah, very risky. They're basically needing to draft running back with every single pick the rest of the way. But Albie saying I seem to take Judy there too much. I pass on Judy a lot. I am not a... Whoa, I do not wish to enter autopilot mode. Not at all. I'm going to go Justin Herbert to stack up with Ladd McConkey here. For sure my highest ranked quarterback and still a player I believe in. I think he's going too late. Falls to 150. Happy with Justin Herbert here. Very happy. But Caliber saying Dobbins putting up 30 a game, I believe. I hope so. I'm really hoping that Dobbins can live up to the hype when he was drafted. Dobbins ran for over 2,000 yards his last season at Ohio State. And usually Ohio State running backs do well in the NFL. It's just the injury risk that has led to Dobbins not putting up good stats. But Zeke was an Ohio State running back. Dobbins could finally live up to some expectation. But I feel really good about this team. I got 2 quarterbacks. I could call it done with this. But yeah, the receiver room's coming together. We got Ayuk, Rashee Rice, Rome Odunze, Ladd McConkey, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks. I would feel comfortable with at least 8 on this team, but the depth is not bad, and maybe I just invest in Jalen Tolbert because I already have Brandon Cooks. Maybe I do that. Just make sure I get the obvious wide receiver 2 in Dallas. That feels like a decent pick. But ooh, Senate goes. I would have considered Senate in the next round, but not here. Could go Braylon Allen to stack up with Breece Hall. I'm just going to take Jalen Tolbert. I was trying to queue up Khalil Herbert, and I clicked it like 4 times, and it didn't do it. Now it did it, so hopefully my mouse is not lagging. But we go Tolbert. That's fine. Dan saying, what's up, buddy? Honesty is the best policy. Always. Always. Thinks I'm going to have a kick-ass season this year. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the well wishes, the good vibes, always welcome. And I hope I do kick some ass. I really do. I was watching the Fantasy Footballers earlier today, and I'll be honest, Andy Holloway made a pretty good case against Anthony Richardson. But in general, I find myself disagreeing with Andy Holloway of the footballers the most of those 3. Like, I don't think Calvin Ridley's the guy. For years, I've been watching when I have watched the Ballers on and off, if I'm like disagreeing with one of them, it's Andy Holloway. So I feel like it's very on brand to have someone that Andy Holloway does not like. But I still think Richardson's going to be a good pick. I will not budge off of that call. But Caliber Team 2 passed on Lamb at the start and gave up, basically. But Albie saying don't fall for Conklin, bye week issues. I think I'd be comfortable with a week 12-0 if I had to. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind. With Kincaid, though, I think I have the luxury of maybe taking Isaiah Likely for that upside. I could also go Hunter Henry, given he's falling. That wouldn't be too bad. But receiver is drying up. I could go Yoshi. Um, it's I normally don't take Hunter Henry, but I do see some world where he is valuable, and he's got a bye in week 14. Let's go Hunter Henry. Dan. Oh, that's you, Dan. Okay, yeah, you're my dad's buddy. Yeah. Welcome. But Caliber asking, other than myself, who do I trust for fantasy content? During the season, I watch very little fantasy content. Like I watch a little bit during the off season here or there. Like I just mentioned, I watched the Ballers, their live show video that they posted today. I tune into them occasionally. I wouldn't say I'm like listening to every episode, but I do like their content. That's probably like the biggest channel though. That's kind of obvious. I do like Flock Fantasy. Every now and then I watch his videos. He's got good live streams as well. That's also a big channel. Um, I used to watch BDGE like several years ago. I have not watched that channel in a long time, honestly. Like they come up on my TikTok feed, the trivia, but I honestly don't watch their YouTube stuff anymore. It's been like years. Not for any reason. I just kind of just fell out of tune with them, and I don't know really what's going on that channel anymore. But I used to watch it back when I was like before I made any YouTube content. I would listen to like Matthew Berry and like the Fantasy Focus podcast. I used to listen to Matthew Berry a lot when I was like 7 years younger, like back when I first started playing fantasy football. Um, yeah, that's. But like honestly, when I have to make all my content during the season, I almost never watch anybody else's videos. I just don't have the time. I really don't. But tempting to go with Darnold here, but it's going to be less unique in this format. I'm going to go with Andre Yoshivas. Joe Burrow has been talking up Yoshi, and I do think he's a really good pick this late if it is indeed true that he's better than Jermaine Burton. Interesting to see De'Ami Brown go 185. That's kind of interesting. But Dragonheart saying Broncos moving on from Tim Patrick. Does this give Dulcich more value? That's a bummer to see. I would say a little bit. I would say maybe now Troy Franklin's a little bit more interesting, but in general, that's probably good news for all of their weapons. If there's one less player, I would say Josh Reynolds is probably the biggest winner if that if they did really move off of Tim Patrick. I can't say I saw that. I was not paying attention to the news very much today, but Albie is saying Denver's a great team to stack late. Lots of options across different positions. It's true that there's a lot of late values. It's just hard to know that you're picking the right guy. That's the only problem there. But Brett saying we have a carryover rule where a player can stay on message board the week before the bye week to carry over those points to the bye week. It's a double-edged sword, but allows owners to not worry. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'm not totally sure, but like if he's on bye, you're able to get somebody from a different week. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not grasping it because I'm focused on others. Focused on this draft right now, but it's not exactly clear to me how that actually works. But um, the points from the week before, interesting. I feel like if you don't have someone to play and they're on bye, like that's on you. Like that's just part of the deal. Um, but that's just my take on it. Um, Darnold falls. You know what? I waited on quarterback. I'm gonna go with Darnold here. I think he's the best pick at quarterback for sure. I don't think you have to stack him up, honestly, just because there's really high upside with all those weapons. And in the 17th, 18th round, like, fuck it. Go for it. But Brett saying, after 25 years as a commish, I can attest to this rule. It's not part of the standard scoring scene, but that's why home leagues can be great, especially with a $200 buy-in. You know, if you want to do something unique in your home league, go for it. As long as it's agreed upon by the majority of the league, as long as like most people are comfortable with that, then you do you, man. I have no issues with having a kind of unique setup in your own system. I tried like uh punt and kick return yards once, and it was a little bit too inflated. Like there's too many players that are like critical for fantasy that also do that. So like all of a sudden Tyreek Hill already put up 25 points in a week, and then it jumped to like 38 because of the punt and kick return yards, and it was like, okay, this is not fair anymore. So but it was fun for a little while when it was like, oh, Devin Duvernay is fucking lighting it up, and now I have to make the decision: am I starting Devin Duvernay over Michael Pittman this week? That was kind of fun, but I would not recommend it. just keep the touchdown, not the yards. But Dragonheart, can I recap my team so far? Yeah, I'm almost on the clock. So let me make this last pick. Just let me talk through it, and then I'll give you a full recap on what we did with this roster. But did Lauby get taken? Did my boy Dylan Lauby get off the board? No, he's still there. Justice Hill, Damian Pierce. You know, Damian Pierce is not the worst pick, but only because Joe Mixon's kind of a scary guy to stay healthy. I think I'm gonna go CEH though. Yeah, give me CEH. Let's go with CH. I know Carson Steele went right before me, but I still think CH is the guy that's behind Pacheco. He'll be in a committee most likely, but he's the first round talent, and he does have experience with them. He does have some decent tape. Most of it's not good, but if Pacheco goes down, I feel like CH is the more valuable handcuff. Anyway, here's the roster. We went with running back out the gate with a very unique start: Brees Hall, Jameer Gibbs. The other running backs are Raheem Mostert, Trey Benson, and CEH, not counting on Benson or CEH very much. But at receiver, I got Brandon Ayuk, Rashee Rice, Rome Odunze, Lad McConkey, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Andre Yoshivas. My tight ends are Dalton Kincaid and Hunter Henry. Quarterbacks are Caleb Williams, stacked up with Rome, Justin Herbert, stacked up with Ladd, and Sam Darnold, unstacked in round 17. I like the roster. I feel pretty good about it. And especially that third quarterback gives me plenty of safety at that position. So feel good. The Brees Hall, Jameer Gibbs start, awesome. And then Ayuk, pick 30. I think I nailed it. I like this team quite a bit. But let's get back to the lobby. This is a $3 entry, so I'm going to do another one. No, we need the strictly NFL tournaments, but we're in another mini schnauzer here. If you want to join me, hit that button right now, and I will join in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 5 spots left. If you want to join me, there's 5 more spots in this draft. But Dan saying, I don't think we've seen the seriousness come out of these players yet. I mean, it's only been the preseason, so yeah, I would agree. It's not quite ramped up yet in terms of intensity. There's preseason football. There is regular season football, there's post Thanksgiving football, there's divisional game football, and then there's playoff intensity, and then obviously Super Bowl intensity. So we are at like one on the gauge of like 1 to 10, and if you've ever seen Spinal Tap, we can go to 11, but at the moment we're like at gauge 1. But can't fucking wait. We're very close. But Caliber asking, do I factor in strength of schedule at all for my running backs and wide receivers? Very little. Not very much. I think to do that at this point of the year, I've fallen into that trap where I've like convinced myself like, oh yeah, I know exactly like what it's going to look like in terms of matchups, and I just don't. Like, defenses are always different year over year. Just because they were bad last season doesn't mean they're going to be bad this year. Like, look at the Texans last season. They were a terrible run defense historically for like 3 seasons, and then last year they were actually like not a good matchup for running backs. They were like average at best. You can also think they're going to be a very good defense, and all of a sudden they get plummeted with injuries and they are terrible. So it's hard to predict, and it's really only valuable at the end of the season. But I'm going to go Jamar Chase here. We just took Breece Hall, so I do like Breece, but I'm going to go with Jamar at a slightly falling value. Pick 5 overall is fine. But Bummer Bobby did not make it. That's unfortunate. But back to your question, Caliber. I will update you on like matchups that are good and bad, how I view them as the season goes on. Once I have real data to look at, I do bring that up. I mention like who's been a good matchup on the season, and then who's been a good matchup over the last 4 or 5 games. Because just because they were good, like take the Broncos defense last year. Like after that Dolphins game, it was like, holy shit, you got to start every running back against them. But once we hit like week 13, week 14, they were not anywhere near as good of a matchup. It was a lot more average. There were some bad performances against them, and teams can definitely change over the course of a year. You don't want to get too locked in to your takes on defensive matchups when it's only still August. I think that's a little bit tricky to fully predict. So the only schedules I'm like really focusing on are bringbacks for these tournaments. Like if I can stack up a player in the same team, that's always great. But if I can also bet on players in the same matchup, week 17, 16, and 15, and that game goes off, I'm also more likely to have a really good performance from my players in that matchup. So that's how I approach it. I look at some matchups for like, let's say Jamar Chase. If I were to make it to week 17 with Jamar and their game against Denver went off, I would want to have some correlating pieces with the Denver Broncos as well. So maybe I'll keep that in mind. Maybe this is like a Bo Nix team, for instance, but we'll see what happens. But Brett coming in with the donation, the super chat. Thank you very much, Brett. Very kind donation, man. Let's read what you have to say. I like your take on the carryover rule. I stated earlier it's common for other fantasy players to be confused by this rule. You don't have to use it. It's an option. Thank you for what you do and keeping it real. Thank you very much, Brett. That's so kind of you for this donation. I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, good luck to you this year. Really appreciate it. A lot of options here, but I think I will go Jalen Waddle. I could possibly go Kyron Williams because running back was also like coveted in this draft, but I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna go with Waddle, and let's hope that maybe Tyreek Hill misses some time. Let's hope so, but yeah, I do like the idea of giving yourself that opportunity for the carryover of the bye week situation, but I feel like there's a lot of like ways that fantasy should have like risk involved. Like that's kind of one reason why I like having kickers, where like it adds that aspect of randomness. and I like a added level of difficulty. Like that's one reason why in my subscriber league I only have one flex that you can start, because when you have two, it's so obvious usually who they're going to be. Like, yeah, you could make the wrong decision, but when you have two flex spots, you're very unlikely to make the wrong decision. You're usually going to get the best options in your lineup. But when you only have one, now the potential to mess up is a lot higher. So that's one reason I like upping the difficulty level. I also have kind of a punitive rule in the fab budget where there are no free agents. You can never pick up anyone off the waiver wire in the subscriber league for $0. You have to bid at least $1 on every single bid. And if you run out of money at the end of the season on your fab budget, you're just fucked. Like you can't get anybody else on your team. And uh, I've been taking Ayuk so much. I'm sure you guys are like tired of seeing me do this, but I'm just gonna continue to take him in the third round here. I'm just not gonna move off of this call. And I was taking him literally at pick 13 sometimes. So to get him at 29, I'm just taking him everywhere I can get him, and I will not stop doing it. I understand if you guys want to see me take somebody else, if you prefer other guys, but I'm just gonna die on this hill, die on the Ayuk train, and anywhere past pick 20, I've just grabbed him wherever, and as he continues to fall, I just keep taking him in the third. I can't stop. I I will be so fucking mad if he goes to the Steelers. If that happens, like I will be livid. But until it does, I'm just gonna convince myself that this is the steal of the third round. We'll see what happens. I hope it works out. But at this point, I'm like over 20% Ayuk. Anyways, Caliber saying True Texans drafting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson last year was phenomenal. Yeah, they really turned their team around quickly. And if you noticed the video I posted earlier today, I actually have I have the Texans as the 1 seed in the AFC. I think they win 13 games. I think Stroud wins MVP this year. I think he does. But my name Jim, asking what do you think about my fantasy team name? Balls deep in my neighbor. I would add the S. I would add the neighbors. It adds the added aspect of you know, just fucking everyone over, and it's truly what his last name is. So I would add the S. That's my only take on it, but I love it. I think that's a great name, man. Fucking awesome. But this team takes Pittman. You know, I might really regret passing on Josh Jacobs here, but we're gonna go all in. We're gonna take T. Higgins and we're gonna double stack the Bengals. I'm gonna hope and pray that Jacobs comes back around. Nope, it goes immediately after pick 45. Yeah, I might be a little screwed at running back on this team, but we can figure it out. I'll get it done. Don't you worry. I'm just not going to do what Team 2 did in the last draft and wait until fucking round 13 to take J.K. Dobbins as my RB1. But I might regret not grabbing Jacobs there. We'll see. But Bobby saying, if Ayuk goes to Steelers, then it's pants down Adam Rancho. Yeah, 100%. But, you know, we're gambling here on Underdog. I got to make some bold calls and put my eggs in a certain basket. And there was like a 2-day stretch when I was like panicking about Ayuk, and I was like, oh God, now I can't take him. I can't risk it. And then I came to my senses 2 days later and was like, no, fuck it. With this cheaper price, we're just going all in. We're doubling down. And, you know, we're hitting on 17. But if that 4 comes, oh boy, I am fucking living. But obviously there's a world where I get a king and I am screwed. But I'm gonna go Mark Andrews. Probably should have taken the falling value with Lamar there, but this team that went double tight end at the turn with Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid, I think incentivizes me to get a little ahead of the room on tight end. I'll take Mark Andrews. But wow, the team with Flowers might get. It looks like that's what they're going to get. They could probably pass on him here and maybe get Lamar at 64 as well. No, they don't risk it. They just go with Lamar at 57. But I will be doing another draft after this. I will be doing a third. I will. I mentioned that at the start of the video, and they're only $3. Let's do a third. But my name Jim. You're welcome, man. Congrats on the excellent team name. I hope you do have neighbors on that team, though. Like, it's always better when you have the player that you're going to make a pun with. But excellent pun. Balls deep in my neighbors. Just fucking every single one. Pickens goes 54. I was tempted to take Pickens, but I think taking T. Higgins there made that not a wise decision. It was either Lamar or Andrews for sure. And I went with Andrews. Wow. They go CJ Stroud. I kind of feel like Team 9 may have just negated a lot of the benefit they decided to do with drafting Lamar Jackson at 57. But they do have Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, so I kind of don't blame them, but we'll see. I wanted Richardson there. I really did. But it probably saves me for myself. I'm going to go Dave Montgomery. Stack up. Just give myself a good floor at running back because we avoided that position for a while. I'll just take Montgomery. We took Gibbs in the last draft, so Monty to mix it up. But if Richardson was there at 68, I probably would not have skipped over him. But VVS, Z asking JT or Saquon full PPR. I would go Saquon there. In full PPR, I prefer Saquon. I think Taylor can catch passes, but historically that's not really what he offers. Like, I think he's maxed out at 40 receptions. Let me be specific, but I'm pretty sure that is the number. Total receptions, yeah, in 2021, his best year, he had 40 catches. In 2020, as a rookie, he had 36. Last two seasons, 28, 19 last year. But he didn't play that many games the last two seasons. He has been injured the last 2 years. So could go up, but probably not. Saquon probably catches like at least 55, if not 60 plus. So I would take Saquon there in full PPR. I would adjust. But if it's half PPR or standard, I'd prefer Jonathan Taylor. Full PPR, give me Saquon. Kind of wanted a running back here, but not great values. So probably going to pass. And tempted to go with Burrow, but quarterback has been falling, so I'm going to not do that. And I'm going to take Christian Watson, some high upside, and also gives me the opportunity to pivot to Jordan Love if I do miss out on Burrow with my next pick. Falls 6 picks. I think Watson in round 7 is a good value. So I will take him here. And I feel pretty solid that I can get Burrow at 92. Because 5 of these next 7 teams already have quarterback. Nobody else has a Bengal. I have both of them. So I need Burrow on this team for it to work out, but I'm just going to bet on getting him at a better value. And if I miss out on him, that's not the end of the world. I'll be okay. I can pivot to several players. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, even Tua I could pivot to if I really wanted to. So that's what I did. I went Christian Watson instead of Burrow at 77. But my name Jim saying, feel like you should target Burrow since you have Chase and Higgins. You know, a safe drafter would do that. But to differentiate yourself in this format, you want the value on the stack. So to get him at 101 would be really ideal, but to get him at 92 is really the better pick. Taking him at 77, it's not as good because there's no way I get a receiver of the caliber of Christian Watson at 92. And maybe I need running backs, so maybe that's what I should be doing, but I'll figure it out. I'll piece it together. But it looks like it's going to pay off. Burrow's still on the board, and I'm honestly tempted to skip on him again. I genuinely feel like I could gamble and get him coming back around. That's the thing that kind of helps you when you're the only one with stacking options. But running back is drying up, so let's just bet on it. Let's go Zamir White. Give myself another running back because I need that position. It's drying up, and you know what? We're gambling here. We see Love go 93. These two teams at the turn do not have quarterback, but they also don't have Bengals. Let's hope it works out. I have seen Burrow fall to like pick 108, pick 110 sometimes. It does happen occasionally. So, kind of forcing the issue, but I think I can get him at 101. Let's hope so. Because my backup plan of Jordan Love did just come off the board. But I do have the Tua backup. I've got the Purdy backup. I'm willing to take my chance on that happening. The question is, if he's there at 101, do I just pass and try? Oh, no, he goes 98. He goes 98. It didn't work out. That's all right. That's okay. But not ideal, that's for sure. Could go Njoku. I could go Brian Robinson. But I'm just going to go Jaden Daniels, a quarterback I don't have to stack up. Could be excellent. You know, maybe I messed up taking Zamir White, but it's worth the risk. It's only $3. Let's do it. And Jaden does not need a stacking option to work out. Jaden can rush for 1,000 yards and outperform Burrow. We could be getting a better quarterback with Jaden Daniels over Burrow straight up. It is possible. I do have Burrow ranked higher. It does help this roster with two Bengals receivers. Now I'm really regretting passing on Josh Jacobs for T. Higgins, knowing I did not get Joe Burrow. But learn from my mistakes. You take a risk. It doesn't work out. It's not the end of the world. For $3, I will not cry about it. That's for sure. But this is the team. We have all of our starting spots taken care of. Jaden Daniels is the quarterback. The starting tight end is Mark Andrews. The two running backs I got are Dave Montgomery, Zamir White. So we're going to need good depth moving forward. But the receivers are Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, and Christian Watson. Kind of a luxury spot here with the receivers I have. So that helps. But I'll probably go Brock Purdy with this pick. Maybe I don't. Maybe I go Rico Dowdle, Jerome Ford. Because I can always get Tua. I can also get Tua. Dak. Holy shit. Dak is falling. Whoa. Who has Ferguson? The team with Lamb. That sniped me on Burrow. You know what? I might say fuck you to that guy. And just take Dak. It's purely a revenge pick, though. Should I really do it? Maybe not. But to get him at 116 is like just such a steal. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Just a big middle finger to that team at 2 that sniped me on Burrow unstacked. I feel like the soup Nazi. No Dak for you. No Dak for you. But, wow, what a value. Goes 98 normally. Falls to me at 116. I already thought Dak was a value in the 9th. So to get him late 10th is phenomenal. And this is probably like a Jalen Tolbert team now. But I'm really hoping that Dowdle is there coming back around. I wish I had Jacobs over T. Higgins on this roster. Like, really bad now. We'll see what happens here, but 2 teams left. I could still get Dowdle. Oh, please. Please. Come on, Cav FFB. Oh, he goes Zeke. He fucks up and takes Zeke. Wow. There is way more upside with Dowdle. I used to be on the Zeke train. No longer have I had that take. It's been about a month since I've preferred Zeke over Dowdle. Maybe they scrolled down and didn't see Dowdle there, but like, wow. Holy shit. He also stacks up with Dak, so this really works out for me. I like it. Running back still a little risky, but Dave Montgomery, Zamir White, Rico Dowdle, some decent floor plays at least, with a potential league winner in Dowdle. There's a world where Dowdle is like a top 15 running back. It could happen. Not saying it's guaranteed, but it could happen. So now the team is more balanced, and I really lucked out there. But we'll see. We'll see what comes back around in the round 12 at pick 140. But yeah, especially with the CeeDee Lamb signing, I would assume Dak is more likely to rise in the ranks in the ADP than fall. Like that was the big concern with Dak. Will he have CeeDee Lamb? Because if he doesn't, that team is fucked. That offense is going to look like shit without CeeDee Lamb. And now the only way that happens is if he gets hurt. So not a risky bet at all to bet on Dak Prescott anymore. I didn't think it ever was, but to get him at 116, great value. Awesome. Wow, the team with Stroud also takes Dalton Schultz. I do not like that pick at 112 from team, I think this is team 9. Yeah, they go Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, Dalton Schultz, Zach Charbonnet, now Gabe Davis. I do not like that Schultz selection at all. But this is kind of a tough spot here. I really need running back, but taking Benson on a team with a lot of risk at the position I don't think is great. I could go Ty Chandler for sure, but I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. I think he has more of a starting role, and yeah, he could obviously get hurt and give me 0 points, but if he does stay healthy, then I have a starting running back on a team with an excellent O-line. Let's hope for the best. I'd rather know I'm getting something out of him week 1 than hoping that Aaron Jones gets hurt. That will probably happen, but I'm a Charger fan. I'm just going to take J.K. Dobbins. Just going to do it. But Jalen Wright gets taken. And I'm really optimistic that one of these running backs falls back around to me. That team at 3 only has 3, though. So probably doesn't let it happen. But we have a shot here. I'd be comfortable with either Benson or Ty Chandler. 2 handcuffs with upside. I think I'd rather have Chandler, but obviously the value on Benson, 19 picks past ADP, is hard to pass up on as well. So we'll see what happens here. Goes Rodgers. Wow. Kind of shocking, but all right, I'll take Benson. 19 picks past ADP. I need running back, so he's my 5th. I don't need to count on him too much. It's worth the gamble. Let's go Benson here. Wow, Benson used to be going in the 10th round. now the 13th. Like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. That's about 40 picks in price drop on Benson. Kind of shocking, but he didn't look too great in the preseason. But I still think he's the guy you want behind behind James Conner. That's for sure. But my name Jim asking, would you start Jaden Daniels week 1 against the Bucks or Dak against the Browns? Despite never seeing him, I think the matchup is way better for Jaden Daniels. I think I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. The Bucks secondary is not good. The Bucks were an excellent matchup last year against quarterbacks. And as much as I still trust Dak, the Browns are a really tough defense. I actually think the Cowboys lose in week 1, whereas I think the Commanders have a decent opportunity to win in week 1. And I think I'd go Jaden Daniels. It feels kind of crazy, but based on matchup, I think I'll take Daniels and that elite upside. There's a world where Lamb has kind of a slow start week 1, given he did not participate in training camp at all. He's probably fine, but there's a world where that doesn't work out. And I do think the Cowboys lose week 1 against the Browns. I would actually go Jaden Daniels most likely, but don't hold me to that. I will be posting my rankings when that happens, and just give me some time to confirm. But at the moment, my gut is leaning towards Jaden Daniels. We have Dak, so I mentioned this is a Jalen Tolbert roster, and we take him here. Basically at ADP, pick 164, he goes 165.9. So, yeah, right in line for Jalen Tolbert. And I need some correlation with Dak Prescott, so give him to me. Let's do it. But this is the roster so far. I got Jaden Daniels, unstacked, Dak Prescott, stacked up with Rico Dowdle for whatever it's worth, and Jalen Tolbert. At running back, I got David Montgomery, Zamir White, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Trey Benson. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Jalen Tolbert. A little top-heavy at receiver, but not bad. And tight end is Mark Andrews. I will probably go with the Senator with this next pick because I don't think I need quarterback. I think I'm fine with the 2 I have. Running back is interesting, but I'm not an Antonio Gibson fan at all. I do not draft him almost ever. And Senate has been moving up the board. We need someone to stack up with Jaden Daniels. And with that Jahan Dotson trade, I think there's going to be a lot more targets available for Mr. Senate. Barring a snipe here, I'll take Ben Senate. But I do not get sniped. That's who we get. Let's take him. Ben Senat. It's Senate, but I still like saying Senat. It feels more appropriate. Damn it! Double week 14 bye. Of course. It's okay. We'll be all right. A lot of upside with Senate. Could be this year's Trey McBride. I'm hoping that Ertz doesn't stay healthy all year. That would suck, but Ertz is pretty old. We thought he was going to retire. Kingsbury does love him. He brought him back for a reason, but after trading Jahan Dotson, Senate is a exceptional athlete, and I'm definitely on board with him. A lot more lately. When I have Jaden Daniels, the stack is totally worth it. The stack is worth it. But after that, we see Cade Otton go off, Antonio Gibson, Will Levis, Tyrone Tracy kind of high, but okay. Marshawn Lloyd at 178, followed by Kamani Vidal, Greg Dortch, Justice Hill. So big reaches at running back here. That's kind of shocking. But I suppose that position has been pushed up the board lately, given who else is available. Like, we're in round 16 now, and the best guy on the board is Tank Bigsby. So that's not great for yours truly. My running back core is still a little shaky with Montgomery, Zamir White, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and Trey Benson. But I think I'll be okay. I'm done at tight end most likely. I probably shouldn't draft a third, but I might just because of that week 14 bye situation. I'll probably just live with it. But I'm done at quarterback, that's for sure. With Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, I'm done. I've got 6 receivers, so I still need some of them. Yeah, the Broncos are. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. Um, Tempted to go with Yoshivis, but I don't have Burrow. I already have Jamar Chase. I already have T Higgins. I think that would be a unnecessary pick. I'm just gonna gamble on Jordan Whittington. I probably should have taken De'Ami Brown there, or Estime. Yeah, probably should have gotten ahead at running back. Uh, Maybe an unwise decision there, but we'll just go very unique at running back instead, and I'll target De'Ami Brown. I probably should have gone Estime instead. But only 3 picks left. Doesn't matter that much differently. But Caliber is asking how much point differential do you think Puka and Cup will have this year, both healthy? If they're both healthy, I wouldn't expect more than like 3 points per game between as far as a difference between the two. I'd still prefer Puka, but you could tell me that Cup is a top 12 receiver this year, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think they'll both be kind of similar. Similar volume. It's just going to come down to like touchdowns and per catch efficiency. I do expect Puka to be better on a per catch basis, though. But just going to go with De'Ami Brown. Another Jaden Daniels stack. I think Luke McCaffrey was already taken, so can't go McCaffrey. Right? Yeah, he went 183, so we go De'Ami Brown 197. To pair with Sennett and Jaden Daniels, we got the double stack now, so definitely justifies our Jaden Daniels investment. And that locks me into running back with the final pick. We'll see who I can go with. We could go Carson Steele. We took Pacheco in the last one. Could always grab Roshan. That's not terrible. Don't think I'm going to grab Kendry or Jamal Williams. Deontay Foreman. What's this news? Foreman will not practice Tuesday with that rib injury. Foreman suffered the injury during Saturday's preseason game. Whatever. It's not good for him. But Lauby is always in consideration. There's a world where Cordell Patterson actually has some value in Arthur Smith's offense. You know, some weird shit's going to happen there. Is Samaje Perine getting cut? In line to be cut. Yeah. But I'm definitely not drafting him. Just wanted to take a look at that. You know, I was actually kind of a fan of Jawar Jordan back when he was drafted. I actually kind of liked him, but they added Cam Akers. I don't think you can trust him. I think I'm going to go with Dylan Lauby. I could go Alexander Madison. Actually, yeah, I'll probably go Madison just to shake it up. I have so much Dylan Lauby. I have very little Madison. So I will just grab someone. It looks like Madison is more in line to be the number 2 running back in Vegas, actually. So I kind of want to hedge my bets a little bit. I have a lot invested in Lauby. I've been touting him for a long time on the live stream. But today, we mix it up. We go with Alexander Madison for a little bit more of a floor. Like if Zamir goes... Oh, shit, I have Zamir. That may have been unwise. But, whatever. If Zamir does go down, then I do see Madison having more of a first and second down role, whereas Lauby is the pass catcher. But, not the best pick. I probably should have gone like Dameon Pierce there instead because I had Zamir already. But fuck it. It is what it is. A running back in round 18 not really going to help you that much anyways. But we are doing one more. I am doing a third in the mini schnauzer. $3 entry. If you want to join me, hit the button right now. And I'm joining in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think I put one finger up when I said 2, but hopefully we can draft together if you really want to. But this will be the last one. I promise we're not doing a fourth. 4 spots left. 4 more spots if you want one. Come on in. Now it's full, though. Cannot join any longer. But what pick do I get? I get pick 10. Pick numero 10. Not too bad. Not great, not the best, but not too bad. I can still get Garrett Wilson. I can get A.J. Brown potentially at a value. And we're in decent shape. Going to be a different team than the last 2, that's for sure. We went with double running back in the first one. We went with 4 straight receivers in the second one. And here we'll probably go pretty balanced out the gate. But I do not expect to get what's his face? Ayuk in this one. Bobby, sorry to hear that, man. I try to time it up. Maybe I should have given you like a little more warning. Like I pulled it up and I was like, hit the button now. I should have maybe like pulled it up and like, okay, we're gonna do it in just a little bit. But yeah, maybe next time. If I recall, we have drafted before. So not the end of the world. I'm glad it wasn't like a $50 draft or something. Only $3, but you know, you have a better shot at winning if I'm not in the draft with you. Just look at the bright side. But okay, it looks like Breece Hall is like officially going top 5. He goes pick 4 in this one. But my cat is hungry, so after my pick at number 15, I got to feed my cat. In case you wanted to see her, she is here. Let me show you. Miss Leia. Hello. Say hi. Hello. She's very talkative right now. She wants her food. She is hungry, but we're almost on the clock. I'll make 2 picks, and then I'm going to feed her, I promise. I will be stepping aside for a moment because it's 6:15, and I normally feed around 6, so she's justifiably hungry right now. But it looks like I'm taking Garrett Wilson. Let's hope he lives up to expectation. Let's hope that happens. But we'll make our next pick, and then we'll feed Leia, and then we'll come back and recap what happened. But Puka at 11. I'm sure you can hear her meowing. She's like, just feed me now. Just get up, get a can, and feed me right now. I will go balanced. I will take Jonathan Taylor. Garrett Wilson, Jonathan Taylor. So wide receiver, running back start, different than the other ones. And I'll be right back. I will be right back. All right. All right. But Chandler Costantino asking trade away Chase, White, Raiders running back, Worthy and Andrews for McCaffrey, Olave, and Goddard, 12-team PPR, one quarterback. So at tight end, you would be giving up Andrews, getting back Goddard. So the rest of the trade needs to be more in your favor. You're giving up Jamar Chase and Xavier Worthy, getting Olave. I don't think that's balanced. But you're giving up Zamir White and getting McCaffrey. So obviously getting McCaffrey is the big upgrade here. But as good as it is, it's full PPR. I think I'm going to stay put, man. I don't think I want the CMC side of this deal. It's really tempting. Obviously, McCaffrey's great. It would depend on like who else I have at running back. Like if Zamir White was my RB1, yeah, I think I would do it. But I expect you to have a better running back one than Zamir. And I just think you're giving up a little too much. Like Jamar Chase, Xavier Worthy for Olave, I don't like at all. And Andrews for Goddard, I think is a big downgrade as well, especially with Jahan Dotson coming in. Goddard is not as valuable. So while, yes, McCaffrey is like far better than Zamir, I don't think it's worth it. But, oh, bummer. Zamir is your RB1. You know, I would counter and try to get a better receiver than Olave. They might not have one. That might be the best you can get. But if not, I would try and like keep Xavier Worthy. If you can either keep Xavier Worthy or get a better receiver than Olave, then I would do it. But yeah, if that's the best you can get, I'm not in love with that deal, man. Personally, that's not how I want to do it. But I get it. If Zamir is your RB1, it is scary as fuck. But I'm going to go Stephon Diggs here. I do prefer Diggs over Pittman. And while technically I have Flowers ranked above Diggs as well, I think in best ball, Diggs is more interesting. Flowers is more of a floor play and better in redraft. So that ranking on Flowers above Diggs is more redraft focused. But I kind of need another receiver most likely with this pick. I could definitely pivot, but these players are not in the same tier. I'm already committed to Indianapolis, so I'm going to do Flowers. I'm going to take Flowers. I think the combination of him and Diggs is a good boom, bust, / very safe combination. And then obviously if Flowers does start to score a lot of touchdowns, he could really work out. So I'll take Flowers. I'm already committed to the Colts, and I don't want to set myself up for like a forced Anthony Richardson stack. I wouldn't hate it, but if I'm betting on Taylor being like elite, I'd rather bet against Pittman being critical for the team. So gonna shake it up. We saw Lamar Jackson fall really late in the last draft. Maybe it happens again. And who knows, maybe I get a decent stack here with Flowers and Lamar. I doubt it, but I'm going to go Flowers just so that I don't have another Colt on the same team. But maybe that was the wrong pick. We'll see. Chandler saying he has Zeke, Ford, Mostert, Javonte, and Zamir White. At receiver, he's got Chase, Debo, Evans, Rice, and Worthy. So what I would either do is try to give up on Debo or Mike Evans instead of Jamar Chase. I think that's the thing holding me back. I just think you're giving up a little too much. Or hold on to Xavier Worthy, or get a better receiver than Olave. If you can do one of those three things, then I would make the trade because, yeah, you need a better RB1. I would say right now your RB1 is Raheem Mostert, not Zamir White. But you have solid depth. Zeke kind of scares me. Javante isn't like atrocious, but not my favorite. That's for sure. I'm not a fan of Javante this season. So yeah, I think I'd probably rather have the CMC side, but I'd really want to get a better receiver. Good luck, man. Tough spot. But we see Travis Kelce, Michael Pittman, Travis Etienne. Another team in this draft that goes 3 receivers in the first 4 rounds. We've seen that each of the 3 drafts today. That's kind of interesting. But then T. Higgins, then Amari Cooper, Trey McBride, Jalen Hurts, Mark Andrews stacked up with Lamar. So I'm not going to get Lamar. I doubted it. But Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy. Wow, Worthy flying up the board. That's kind of surprising. I still prefer George Pickens over Xavier Worthy. I would still do that. But we'll be okay. Glad I have Taylor in this draft. But Pickens goes 53. Good value on Pickens. We'll see if I get Kincaid. There's potential I get Kincaid at 58. I'd be pretty happy with that. But if not, I think I'd probably go with probably just go Richardson. And maybe taking Pittman was the right move, but nope, Kincaid is there. Let's take Kincaid for sure. The team with Josh Allen, not going to be happy, but I don't give a shit. Kincaid's the best guy on the board. And they already have Laporta. They already have their tight end, so they'll be all right. But Kenneth Walker goes off. I would have liked Kenneth Walker around the turn. Would have been comfortable with that. I should probably be taking Richardson here, but I kind of need receiver as well. Kind of a tough spot. Oh, and I get sniped on Richardson. Interesting. Okay. Kind of saves me a little bit. I'm going to go Chris Godwin, my highest ranked receiver. Bit of a floor play, but has true elite upside if Mike Evans does go down. We take Chris Godwin here. Another receiver for this team. I kind of need it because the receivers I'll get back around are not that good. So would have gone Richardson, but don't get him. So it is what it is. I feel like that team with Josh Allen's just bitter. To go Allen and Richardson is not my favorite move. Just take one. Don't take both. Anyways, Jaden Reed at 64. I've been passing on Jaden Reed quite a bit lately. I'm talking myself into Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks. Christian Watson's also cheaper, so I take him a decent amount when he falls. And Jaden Reed has been falling, but he's just the most expensive, and that's why I don't take him that much. But Reed is probably the safest guy you can bet on of the 4 Packers receivers. I think justifiably the most expensive, but obviously that makes him the most likely to not work out. When there's 4 guys in a rotation, it might not work out with any of them. So good luck with Jaden Reed if you do draft him. If it was like a season-long league, I'd probably, if I could only have one, I'd prefer to have Jaden Reed. He is the safest one, that's for sure. But then Stroud, Kyle Pitts, Rome Odunze, Christian Watson, Kyler Murray, Alvin Kamara, pick 70, Deontay Johnson, Brian Thomas, JSN. Does the team with JSN have Metcalf? No, they do not. They have McCaffrey, Saquon, and 5 receivers. But I'll probably grab a running back around the turn. It's probably where I'm going to go. we don't have the best stacking options. Like, we're stacked up with like a potential Rodgers selection, potential Baker Mayfield selection. Otherwise, everybody else has been already sniped from us. So, not great. But not the end of the world either. We'll be all right. Aaron Jones goes, so I'm hoping for Najee here. But I get sniped. Don't really want Ramondre. I'm going to shoot for upside with Jordan Addison and grab another receiver. That way I have 5 I feel like I can compete with. Let's do that. But Evan Ingram goes to the team with Laporta. I had a feeling I could maybe get Laporta coming back around because that team had Laporta. This team has Kittle. And if I really wanted to, I could go Jake Ferguson, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just play it safe. I'll probably go Ramondre Stevenson if available. But I do have Mostert ranked higher, so it's fine with me. Mostert gets sniped. All right. Here we are. More of a true hero running back approach. And you know what? Let's go double tight end. Let's take Jake Ferguson. Give ourselves a kind of a unique roster with Kincaid at a big value and also Jake Ferguson. Let's do it. I might regret it, but got sniped on my 2 running backs there. And at least we have Jonathan Taylor. We have the hero of this roster. So we're telling a story, and we did not get Richardson. So maybe in this scenario, Richardson leaves a lot of rushing touchdowns on the table for Jonathan Taylor. Maybe he scores like 22, 23 touchdowns this year. And having Taylor is like really the guy you need to go off. But I'll probably go double running back at the next spot. I probably can't, though. I need quarterback as well. So this is an interesting team. We'll see what happens. But I'll get myself out of this hole. That'll happen. Zamir, Tony Pollard at 89. Wow. High on Tony Pollard. Brock Bowers, Joe Burrow, Jalen Warren, DeAndre Hopkins, David Njoku, Jonathan Brooks. 95. Mr. Jaden Daniels at 96. And if Dak falls again in this draft, we could go Dak Prescott as well with Ferguson. Can also set myself up for a Darnold stack. So I've got options. All of my stacking options are later as well. This might be a punt quarterback type of team. That might be what I do. We'll see. If I can get Dak, I'll take him. But if not, I'll just punt QB. But I'd be comfortable with any of these running backs I'm highlighting. If I have to go Spears, I'll consider Spears, but I'd much rather have Brian Robinson or one of the Bengals running backs with my current situation. I do not want Devin Singletary. That's for sure. I am not high on Devin Singletary at all. Oftentimes, whenever I write down Devin Singletary's name with the keyboard, I type it out Singletray just because of like mixing it up. And I feel like that should be his nickname. Just one tray for him in the lunch line. He doesn't need 2, just a single tray. But I think I'm going to gamble that Prescott comes back around and just take Zach Moss. I'd be pissed if I got sniped on both Moss and Tajay, so I'm just going to take Zach Moss. again, we could just always punt quarterback if we need to. So um, it'll be all right. But Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, not a bad combo, given I've ignored running back for such a long time. Having Taylor really saves my ass. But the better pick is definitely Dak. Goes Rico Dowdle. I mean, I do have Jerome Ford ranked higher, actually. Maybe I could do Jerome Ford. You know what? Yeah. We just took Dak on the last team. Let's punt quarterback. Let's go Jerome Ford. I prefer Ford over Tyjae. Would rather invest in the Browns offense and their superior offensive line than the Titans running back situation. Like, you really don't know what you're getting out of the Titans offense this year. And with that big committee between Pollard and Tyjae, like, it's really hard to bet on, like, that much upside. Like, one of them has to go down for it to work out because there's not many touchdowns available in Tennessee in the first place. And they both catch passes, so that really eats into each of their value. Jerome Ford, you at least know you have the starter for probably 2 months. And if Nick Chubb is not the same player once he comes back, then you have a top 30 running back all year long. So I need the depth. I'll take Jerome Ford. But Dak goes 115 to the team with 0 Cowboys. I also think they have T. Higgins at least. They have Burrow stacked up. But we took Prescott unstacked in the last draft at 117. So it makes sense. I'm not going to knock it after I just did that. But they can always get Brandon Cooks. They can always get Jalen Tolbert. They cannot get Rico Dowdle anymore. They would have to settle for Zeke. I at least had the option of getting Dowdle, which I did at 125. But enough about last draft. Let's focus on this one. This is the roster. We don't have a quarterback yet, but we went Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, Jerome Ford at running back. Wide receivers are Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Jordan Addison. So pretty solid receiver room. And then tight end, we're fucking loaded with Dalton Kincaid and Jake Ferguson. We have good tight ends. We're done at that position. And we will be drafting 3 quarterbacks on this team no matter what. Right now, we're set up for an Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold stack at the moment. We'll see what happens. But I might go Mike Williams. The teams behind me have 3 receivers, 4 receivers, so receiver is going to be a bit more coveted, and we are approaching the cliff. So I think I'm going to go Mike Williams and just grab whatever is the best running back value coming back around. And there's a world I get like Tua or Jared Goff as well. That wouldn't really correlate with my team, so I don't know if I need to do it. But yeah, I'm going to take Mike Williams here. And now I'm definitely going for an Aaron Rodgers combo, ideally. But Rodgers has been going earlier, so I might not get him at 154. I don't want to take him at 135. I really don't. I think he's a bad pick at 135. So I'll probably go Eckler here. Not my favorite pick, but in round 12, I think it's fine. 5 picks past ADP. You're looking at backups no matter what in this range, and Eckler might really eat into Brian Robinson's value this season. It is possible. So, decent value on Tua, but it's not stacked up. Same with Goff. I prefer Goff. Decisions. And you know what? I think I am just going to take Goff. I have Goff ranked as a really good backup. He's a top 15 quarterback for me. So even though I don't have him stacked up, I'm just going to grab the floor. We're going to get the points. Even if it's unstacked, I think it's fine. And that way, if I do get sniped on Rodgers, it's not going to be the end of the world. And when Goff plays at home, he averages 21 fantasy points per game. When he plays in a dome, he's still somewhat serviceable. And I know I'm taking 3 quarterbacks regardless, so I think it's fine. It's definitely the best value. I prefer Goff over Tua, and I'll take him here to mitigate any risk of not getting Rodgers, because I still think Rodgers is nowhere near in the same caliber of Goff. I have Goff ranked above Tua. I'll just take him. The team with Laporta passed on him with Josh Allen and Richardson already. The team with Amon-Ra St. Brown thought he might come back around. He has Caleb Williams and now Kirk Cousins. So they made the wrong pick. And I'm happy to take Goff at 135. That's fine. Given I punted the position, he's a good fail-safe. Good floor play for sure. But yeah, this team would be better if it had Rodgers on it because I have Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. That would help me out. We'll see what happens, but thank God I have Jonathan Taylor on this team. I've got a true stud running back to figure it out. But again, we're done at tight end. We've got Kincaid and Ferguson. We got 6 receivers now, so don't need to focus on that position too much. It's mainly running back and quarterback the rest of the way. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left. 2 of them are receivers, 2 of them are quarterbacks, and 2 of them are running backs. So that's the approach. We'd be comfortable with a Jalen Wright, Chuba Hubbard, Jaleel McLaughlin selection there. But obviously Rodgers is important as well. So we will see. We have 6 more picks until ours comes off. So we got some time. But after Goff, Trey Benson at 136. We took him like 150 or something in the last round. No, we took him 140. Yeah, we took him 140. Oh, no. It was 149. Excuse me. It was 149. Freiermuth, 137. Cousins, Tua, Eckler, Charbonnet. Rodgers goes 148. So I do get sniped on Rodgers. I'm glad I have Goff now. That's for sure. But Zeke, J.K. Dobbins, Stafford, Dalton Schultz, Tyler Algier, Jalen Wright, Rodgers, and now T.J. Hawkinson. I would have considered Hawkinson. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I have 2 tight ends already. But for the Darnold stack, I would have at least thought about it. But I'm glad I don't have to consider clicking it. We're hoping for RB here. These 2 teams have 5, so I'll probably get one of the 2. And with the early season upside of Jerome Ford, I wouldn't say Chuba Hubbard is like the best player to pair with him, but it's guaranteed points. There's also a world where Jonathan Brooks gets hurt later on the season, so I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard. I think there's more of a path for actually getting in my lineup than Jaleel McLaughlin. Too big of a committee in Denver for me to put McLaughlin above Chuba Hubbard. But with Ford on the roster, we might not get that much flex appeal from Chuba Hubbard, actually. Just because they both correlate for their best weeks of the season at the same time. While Chubb is out, Ford is going to be good. While Brooks is out, Hubbard's going to be good, and that'll be overlapping. So I wish I had someone to kind of pivot to at the end of the season instead of 2 guys early on. But it is what it is. I just take the best player available. Anyways, receivers ugly. I'm not taking Jahan Dotson, that's for sure. Could go Ray Davis. Could go... Actually, no, I'm going to take Baker Mayfield. And that opens us up for a Jalen McMillan stack later on. I have Chris Godwin on this team, so if Godwin's really good, then Baker's going to be solid. And I'll just take Baker. Because I doubt he comes back around to 178. I doubt it. His ADP is 164. So, it's worth it. Will Levis goes 160. Reach on Will Levis. Holy shit. Does that team have like Ridley? They don't have anyone to stack up with Will Levis. Oh, they have Tyjae Spears. Wow. Big whoop. The Tyjae Spears Will Levis stack. Oh no, I'm shaking. But Noah Fant, Jahan Dotson. Why is Dotson going off the board still? People are just ignoring the red flags. It does take longer for players to fall, though. Oh, shit. Jalen McMillan went 157 already. I cannot take McMillan. I thought I had the opportunity to take Jalen McMillan. But nope. Not anymore. Fuck. He goes right before I take Baker. 2 picks before. So, not going to be as good, but still, I think he's one of the safer quarterbacks I can take. For the sake of my stack, I think it's worth it. But, yeah. Interesting. The team with Mahomes has not drafted a QB2 yet. So, I might grab Darnold at 178 to avoid a snipe. Because we did get sniped on Richardson earlier. But 4 rounds left. I need 2 receivers, 1 QB, 1 running back on this roster. That's what I need. I'll be looking at... It's kind of gross. Jordan Mason, for sure. Sam Darnold as well. We have Addison. Receivers, Yoshi. Maybe Luke McCaffrey. Maybe Jalen Naylor. Naylor, I hardly know her. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing? Yeah, I'm going to go Darnold. If I get sniped on Jordan Mason, I won't be too upset about it. It's not the end of the world. I can always go with Tyrone Tracy or Kamani Vidal. I would be more upset if I got sniped on Darnold. And this team at 12 only has Mahomes so far. So they're probably looking at quarterback. Most likely. But X Distinct saying I can trade Debo and Ingram for Puka and Cole Kmet. I would not do that. At the moment, there's still a world where Ayuk gets traded. So I think you could ask for more if Debo's involved in the trade as of today. And I really don't trust Cole Kmet at all. I do not. So there's going to be some weird usage with Shane Waldron. And fuck it. I'm going to pass on Jordan Mason. I'm going to go Andre Yoshivas. Yeah, Cole Kmet I don't think is safe, my friend. They're going to use Gerald Everett a lot more than we anticipated. And Ingram is way better than Cole Kmet. So that's a big downgrade, in my opinion. And while, yes, Puka is better than Debo, if Ayuk does get traded, then Debo bridges the gap and it's way closer. So I would not prefer the Cole Kmet side of this deal. If you were getting a better tight end, if it was like Brock Bowers or Jake Ferguson, I would make the deal, but for Cole Kmet, I'm not going to do it. Give me the Debo Ingram side of that, in my opinion. But Jonathan says, good man on vacation, going to be drafting from San Antonio this year. Wife isn't happy. I have 3 drafts in a row. Yeah, you got a 2-hour time difference. The draft starts at 10:15 for you, so you'll be up a little late that evening. Yeah, hopefully she forgives you. Um, maybe just one of those Sundays during the year, just give her a little extra, you know, a little extra gift, maybe buy her flowers a little bit more often. But that's kind of the deal. Once it's the first weekend of September, or like right around that transition into September, you expect we're going to be busy. Like, we only have to do it. But yeah, just give her a little extra something over the next month or two, maybe over the course of the full season. Good to keep her happy. If she's not too happy about it, she'll forgive you. I'm sure she'll forgive you. But you cannot miss the subscriber league. That is critical. If she wants to complain, she can hit my hotline, and I'll convince her why it's so important. But it's just part of the deal. But yeah, you're gonna be not only drafting from the hotel lobby, you're gonna be sleeping on the hotel lobby couch. She'll be locking the door behind you. She'll get a new key card while you're out, and she's not even gonna let you sleep on the hotel couch. No pull-out cot for you. And yes, it is easier to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, but I feel like it's expected. Here's the thing. You can definitely frame it to your benefit. At least they're all happening on the same day. If they were happening over multiple days, that would really hamstring your entire trip. If you're only fucking up one evening, she gets a full night to herself. She can do anything she wants. And that way it's not overlapping and she has to go see like 3 movies by herself. I think that's the way to go. Have them go back to back to back and just deplete all of the fantasy football draft knowledge you have in one evening, and then get back to regular life the next day. I think that's the better way to do it. Stack them all up back to back to back. Oh, it's 3 separate days. Maybe not. Yeah, it loses some of that appeal then. We passed on Estime last time. I'm going to take Estime here. I need that running back, so I'll take Estime. And that's it. At running back, I'll probably go Jalen Naylor with his last pick. I could also go De'Ami Brown if I wanted to. Could maybe go Khalif Raymond if I felt really desperate, but I doubt it. I think to compensate for that Addison expected suspension, I think I'll just take Naylor, and that way we have some correlation that doesn't line up with each other. I'll take Jalen Naylor here for that Sam Darnold stack. Let's do it. Another Minnesota Vikings. So this is the team. We have 3 quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Goff is unstacked, but he offers me a good floor at a good value. I'm happy to take him there. 10 picks past ADP. Baker stacks up with Chris Godwin. Darnold stacks up with Addison and Jalen Naylor. At running back, I've got a bit of a hero approach with Taylor, Zach Moss, Jerome Ford, Chuba Hubbard, and Audric Estime, hoping for the best with Estime. But at receiver, I feel decent about it with Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Jordan Addison, Mike Williams, Yoshivas, and Jalen Naylor. There is some high spike week potential, some high upside with these guys. And then Flowers and Chris Godwin, that combo is a good floor as well. So I like the receiver room, and then tight end is fucking choice. It's phenomenal. I got Dalton Kincaid and Jake Ferguson. That is definitely the strength of this roster. Receiver's pretty good. Running back gets a little thin quickly, but a stud at the top. And then quarterback, I do think, is pieced together pretty decently. So that's it for the team. That's it for the live stream. I hope you enjoyed. We drafted 3 teams for almost 2 hours. And yeah, it's been fun Appreciate everyone who watched. Appreciate anyone who donated. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Check out my channel for all of my updated win-loss predictions for every team in the NFL, all 32. I let you know how I feel there. But Jonathan says, I know Juju is washed, but does signing him signal anything? I think it's just insurance for Hollywood Brown because he was available. But there is a world where he works out with some touchdowns. But it could impact weekly floors for guys like Worthy and Rashee Rice. But overall, I think it's just an insurance policy for Hollywood Brown. They know what they're getting with Juju. I kind of see it in the same lens as signing Mecole Hardman. Not someone that really moves the needle too much, but helps them win for NFL. Doesn't really help you in fantasy. That's it for me. Good night, everyone. Hope you enjoy your Monday. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.